Staying here. We're back with another Hogwarts mystery. So we last left off with getting this big getting this special assignment. So let's go start that straight away. Have no time to waste. We only have 3 days and 19 hours to finish it. We got no time to waste. Whew. Everyone's lined up. Okay. Excuse me. I hold tail. The Dumbledore has something right special planned for the lot of us. I hope it involves meat pie. Hagrid always thinks with his stomach, though I find it quite endearing. I wonder which student I'll have to tolerate spending time with after Dumbledore makes his announcement. What is us? Hey, Penny Mueller. Does anyone know what this assembly's about? Not yet. We're just told to gather here because Professor Dumbledore has a surprise announcement to make. And I'm quite intrigued. I love a good school-related surprise. Who said it was good? Well, Professor Dumbledore looks quite happy, so I'm optimistic. He must have something fun playing for us. I think it's going to be bad news. What do you think, Darkos? Do you agree with me or Mueller? I think Penny's right. This is going to be the announcement of something fun. Professor Dumbledore always looks out for us. I'm glad you have joined my positive parade, Darkos. Predictable and a bit annoying, I have to say. Well then. Esteemed faculty and gathered students, thank you for joining me in this our great hall for a very special announcement. I hereby declare the coming days at Hogwarts an official celebration of teacher appreciation. Turns out we were right, Penny, good news. Oh, how lovely. I do enjoy our teachers. I should add that while this feast and celebration will recognize Hogwarts staff as a whole, it will specially honor one of our finest, Professor Minerva McGonagall, for her many years on our faculty. Headmaster, you are too kind, but we all work hard. I simply don't need to be singled out. It's a tradition, Professor, and this is your turn, though I expected that might be your reaction, which is why we are prepared to convince you that you should be specifically, specially, especially celebrated. Teachers and students, shall we? Well, let's start this. I only got how many? I only got 2 energy points. So I'll cut here and cut back to when I finish this. So let's see what we do. So as you can see, Professor McGonagall, you have quite a few friends, and they are resolved to honor both your character and achievements. And the celebration feast sounds quite fun too. It's very kind but simple too much, Albus. You are nothing if not humble, Minerva, but even I'm on board, so don't make us beg. It's unbecoming. When you put it that way, I have no choice, but I also have a few ideas of my own on how I'd like to approach this. I wouldn't have it any other way. Come, let's discuss. Professor Dumbledore seems quite excited about this celebration, and I am decidedly not. Well, I think it's going to be brilliant. What a great opportunity to get to know more about our professors. I'm glad to hear you feel that way, Miss Haywood, as becoming more familiar with the staff is a goal of this event, which is why you will each be interviewing a specially selected member of the faculty personally. That's quite exciting. After which you will make a presentation about them, the character and achievements at the final celebration feast. That it's a rare opportunity to get to spend quality time outside the classroom with your subject. I wonder who we will each get to interview, Doctors. And as it turns out, Dr. Stan, you will be doing a presentation on the Grade of Honor, Professor McGonagall. Me? Really? Indeed, which means you will be spending quite some time together. Though you should know this won't be any ordinary assignment. What do you mean, Professor? I would, I have something very special planned for the two of us. You will find out what that is when we next meet. Okay. Here's the big announcement. Lone McGonagall's surprise. Let's go Lone McGonagall's surprise. Uh, Lone the surprise. Let's see what she got. I'm ready to begin our interview for my teacher appreciation celebration presentation, Professor. And as you are the guest of honor, I'm especially eager to learn more about you. Yes, I can see that, though my role in this school is usually to teach rather than be studied, which is why it's important to me that you learn something yourself as we conduct the interview. And also why I have set up this. A wizard chess set. Not just any wizard chess set, my own personal chess set. And I must warn you, I'm quite good. I don't doubt it, but why show it to me? We are going to play. As you learn about me, you will develop your game, and I'll learn something about you as well. Uh, you can tell a lot about a person by how they approach the chess game. Is this the special idea you had planned? It is. Have you played? Actually, I haven't. Well, I'm sure you know the basic rules and pieces involved. You will learn as you go, just as I did. As I begin, so shall I begin the interview? If you must, let's get it on with. Woohoo! Okay. I'll cut it here. Listen, Professor, I want to do you justice in my presentation, but aside from you being from the Highlands and having siblings and a few basic facts like you being an animagus, you haven't given me much to go on. I was hoping we could talk about some more personal things. Questions of your personal nature aren't appropriate between the teacher and student. But surely we need to talk a bit more. I want to get a full picture to make sure I represent you well. Very well, I'll answer one more question now. Proceed. Uh, I'm curious how you felt when you first arrived at Hogwarts as a first year. It represented a place of joyful release and freedom. I learned a lot, participated vigorously, and made quite a few friends. Of course, that's quite clear from how you are being honored, but I'm wondering one question. That was the agreement for now. Besides, the past is only part of my life. Facts and finance you could learn anywhere. Of course, but no buts. I have important work to get back to in the present. After we begin a game. Okay, let's begin. What goes first, so I will make the first move. I have to say this is exciting. Now that our game has started, our journey together has officially begun. And I'm already fascinated by the moves you are making. Well, apparently I'm doing well. This game we are playing and this interview may be more challenging than I expected, Professor. Indeed it will be. But if you pursue it, it may yield the rewards you want as well as some you don't expect. When you have planned your next move, come back and we will continue our discussion. Until then, you are dismissed. So I can just wait till, like, wait hours till my next move? What? So what's now? Uh, discuss your interview with Penny. Okay. I'll discuss my interview with Penny. Let's get this done quickly and efficiently, Miss Smoke. A librarian's life is quite busy, and the library waits for no one. Uh, I hardly ever want. I hardly want to talk to my teachers in class. Now I have to do it alone. That's particularly my boggle. I hope my teacher appreciation presentation goes well. I'm off to a great start with Professor Sprout. Blimey, all anyone seems to be talking about is the teacher appreciation celebration that's coming up. I'm happy to be doing my presentation on Professor Snape. He's a brilliant potions master. Who are you? Who will you assign, Marilla? Professor Quirrell. He teaches Muggle studies, which I don't couldn't care less about. Well, I'm sure he will be quite interesting, though I can't help but think Docto's got the best subject of all. Professor McGonagall is accomplished and beloved, and you are getting to spend one-on-one time with her. How did your first meeting go? She's tight-lipped. True, but I'll just say she's fascinated. Like you said, is well liked and also quite fascinating. I'm thrilled to be interviewing her. Who wouldn't be? Even I'd be interested if she could teach me more skills to be the most powerful witch at Hogwarts. All I know is I want to make sure I properly honor Professor McGonagall in my presentation, especially since she's being um, suspiciously recognized and celebrated. I'm sure you will rise to the occasion. Maybe I would help to talk about what you have learnt so far and hear some of the things we have all learnt as well. That's a great idea. Well, I'm gonna just start this. Hopefully you can get the full star. Yeah, I'll see. I got the full star. Boom, 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 boom. Got the full star. Okay. Now I'll cut here and then reconvene once I finish this. Uh, Finn, thanks for chatting to me about all this. Avoiding personal facts might be a good idea, and I hope Professor McGonagall opens up in our next session too. Though she does seem more interested in the wizard chess game we are playing than doing the interview. What's that about? I would think a master like McGonagall is too busy for games. She says playing in our time together will help me learn something about life rather than just facts about her. Sounds nutters. You won't learn anything more about life from a game than you would sitting here with Haywood. I disagree, Mueller. You can tell a lot about a person by the company that they keep. That's it, I just had an idea. The key to getting to know Professor McGonagall could be learning more about the pieces on her real life chessboard. What are you talking about, Dane? If it if it will take time to get Professor McGonagall to open up, I need to do the next best thing, So I'm going to interview the people who know her best, our other professors. Part 1 completed. Part 2, your quest to learn more about Professor McGonagall has you spending time with lots of people at Hogwarts. Sick, let's go, let's go, let's go. Uh, what's next? Go to the Great Hall. Let's go to the Great Hall then. Let's get all these. Look, it's Flinch. Quick, hide or he'll threaten to get out the chains. I'm here for the leftover fish heads for Mrs. Norris. House elves prepare student meals, but students never get full, so more work for house elves. Ah, true. So Darkos, are you ready to start interviewing Professor McGonagall's peers for your presentation? I've been thinking about it quite a bit and I'm eager to get started. Well, I think it's a brilliant way to learn more about Professor McGonagall and will really help you prepare for your whole special recognition at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration. Thanks, Penny. I appreciate your support, but it's a lot of responsibility. I need to get my presentation right. You will. What do you think is the most important thing to talk about so far? Uh, Appreciation of chess. She seemed really excited about chess and what we can learn from it. I could definitely mention that. Professor McGonagall is so smart. I'm sure playing against her will be an exciting challenge and very educational. That's two things I have to figure out. My next chess move and how to build my presentation. Talking to the other professors is a brilliant start. I'm just not so sure which ones would be the best to interview. There are so many choices and not enough time. Maybe you would help to go over the options. I think it may. Let's do that. Okay, let's start this. See how far we get. Consider, wonder, ponder, affirmed, and that's it. I'll cut. I'll cut back. Uh, Thanks, Penny. There's certainly a lot of options for teachers to talk to. I just have to decide who to start with, and whoever it is, it needs to know Professor McGonagall will well, and be willing to talk even if they are busy. Huh? Who will it be? I wish I had your problems. My professor is all about talking and talking. Professor Cool even asked me to come back again if I wanted to know more. I'm Eula, and that's so kind of Professor Quill. You would think that. To me, it is like getting tortured by an anchor. There must be something Professor Quill could discuss that you'd be interested in, Mula. I'm not so sure. He was a Hogwarts student not so long ago. Think about that. Quill used to be sitting at the desks. Same desks we sat at. We sit at. What does he know that we don't? What, Mule, you are a genius. I prefer most powerful witch, but I guess I'll take that too. What's going on, Darkos? Did you get an idea? I did. I just realized Quill is the perfect first peer interview. You are right. What better place to start learning about Professor McGonagall than from her former student? Next up, Cornelius Quill. Got to wait 3 hours for that. Okay, well, I'll cut back to when we get there. And we're visiting Professor Quill. So let's go see what. Oh, look at this classroom. We've never been here before. Muggle Studies. Look at that. Oh. Why's the lawn chairs for the chairs? That's okay then. Oh, 'cause it's Muggle stuff. Okay. Uh, Professor Quill? Yes. Hi, I'm Dr. Stan. I haven't had the pleasure of taking your class yet, but I was hoping I could talk with you. Why does he look so surprised? Oh, he's looking around the classroom. Telephone box, that subway thing. No, that was like a spaceship or some stuff. I don't know what the heck that was, but yeah. Whoa, look at this place. I've never been in this classroom. So many fascinating objects. Muggles do have some eccentric obsessions, but don't we all? Though funny, you should notice my own student interview, Mula Stein, didn't seem as taken. Maybe she was just distracted with her project. I would say she was decidedly the opposite. Interesting character, that Miss Nine. Hard to tell if she's good or bad or something in between. What do you think about Mula? She's definitely between something in between is right. She's definitely a little hard to read, so something in between might be right. The good Mula is strong and powerful, and the bad one can be angry and temperamental. Temperamental. I suppose we all have two sides to who we are, but we should be wary of letting our passions or pursuits corrupt our better selves. Now, what can I do for you? I've got to prepare for my next lecture. Then I'll get right to the point. I've been assigned Professor McGonagall for my teacher appreciation presentation. The guest of honor herself. Big responsibility. I hope you can do McGonagall justice. That's why I am here. I know you were Professor McGonagall's student before you joined the faculty, and wondered if you'd be willing to talk with me about her. Wait, I'm happy to talk to you while I survey the office. I'm trying to find what the muggles call a video game. But go ahead and ask you questions while I look. Brilliant. What can you tell me about Professor McGonagall as a teacher? Well, let's start this up. Ba, 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 ba. Do, do, do. Well, I'll just cut here and cut back to when we're gonna finish this off real quick. And boom, we finished. So now let's see what we gotta do. What are you gonna say, bud? The truth is, Professor McGonagall is a wise and well-reserved, well-versed teacher, and even as a student, I admired her bravery in standing up to he who shall not be named. Of course, but she also helped me personally. How so? I was bullied as a student, but Professor McGonagall helped me to understand that knowledge is a power, and by seeking it out, I could become stronger. That's part of the reason I'm a teacher today. How inspiring, but what's your favorite quality about the professor? She's stern, but also caring. She took the time to help me, and I also related to her because we both had a parent who was a muggle. So I suppose I could say my favorite quality is her humanity. Thank you, Professor. This has been so helpful. Alright then, I should get on with my finding of this video game. It runs on something called batteries. Can you imagine? No, but I hope to learn more someday. Maybe if I'm lucky enough to take your class. I hope I'm still here. I intend to take a sabbatical and do a grand tour searching for more knowledge soon. Sabbatical, that's the word. And where I'm going, they do tend to wear a lot of hats. I've been trying this one out. But but what do you think? Do I strike you as a hat person? Definitely. A hat suits you. The more dramatic, the better. Good to know. I like quite fancy hats. One last thing, Professor. Do you perhaps know why Professor McGonagall is so interested in wizard's chess? Well, she was quite the Quidditch fan when she was my teacher. Maybe she just enjoys games. Muggle or magic, that seems to be universal. Of course, you are right, Professor, and now I know exactly who to interview next. Madam Hooch. Let's go interview Madam Hooch. Madam Hooch, Hooch. Ooh, what the hell is happening here? Oh, she's in a class? Madam Hooch, I was hoping I could talk to you for a moment. Looking to improve your boomology skills, are you? I've noticed your landings can be a little rough. Actually, I think my landings are quite graceful. Having confidence in your skills is good. But don't be afraid to listen to constructive criticism as well. Pride shouldn't stop you from learning. I'll consider that. But actually, I'm here because I have been trying to learn more about Professor McGonagall. Got the old girl as your subject for your presentation at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration, did ya? I did, and as she's being especially honored, I want to do my research. I know you both quite like Quidditch. Like, it's more than that. It's been a lifelong infatuation. In fact, we both played when we were students here at Hogwarts. That's brilliant. Would you tell me more about her? I do enjoy telling tales, especially about a day that lives in Hogwarts infamy when Slytherin won the Quidditch Cup over Gryffindor. Though whether it was fair or win was questioned. I'd love to hear all about it. How long will this take? 3 hours. 3 hours. Okay, I'll cut to you when I finish. Only say that continuous match between the rival houses left McGonagall with more than just injuries. It also created a lifelong desire in Minerva to see Slytherin crushed on the Quidditch pitch. Sounds like you're suggesting that Professor McGonagall is quite competitive. She certainly is that. It's one of my favorite things about her. And though we may not always agree about some calls, I always know that she can't abide cheaters, and I agree. Then I won't bother asking you for any chess move suggestions for the game the professor and I are playing. Probably a good call. McGonagall wouldn't like that. Though I couldn't help you if I did. I don't know a thing about wizard chess. Alright then, safe and on both counts. The truth is McGonagall respects honesty, integrity, fairness, and commitment in all things. Though I wish she'd also respect my calls in Quidditch now that I'm a referee. She heckles from the sidelines. Like you said, she's a true enthusiast. Thank you, Madam Hooch. This was really helpful. I'll leave you to prepare for your next class. Before you go, you should know Quidditch will be spinning up soon. You may be good at it. It certainly is popular here at Hogwarts. Thanks for letting me know. Good luck on your presentation and your chess game. Against someone as willy as Professor McGonagall, you are going to need it. That reminds me, it's time for my next move. I'm going to see Professor McGonagall next. Okay. Let's go talk to Professor McGonagall. Talk to Professor McGonagall. Let's see what we can do. I'm happy to help a student so long as you don't mind me drinking samples amounts of butterbeer while I do it. For my teacher appreciation presentation on Hagrid to be completed, it must include an interview with its creatures. What? How does that make sense? Crafty worries that dinner will be late unless Crafty gets help right away. Professor McGonagall, I've been looking for you. Yes, yes, but if you could hold on a moment, it seems there's a problem in the kitchens. Now go on, you were saying, Crafty? Crafty needs Professor McGonagall to come to kitchens right away. Crafty worries dinner won't be ready in time. Then take it up with Pitts. I don't see why I should need to intervene. Crafty is here because Pitts suspiciously asked Crafty to bring Professor McGonagall. Well, let's not resort to hysterics. I'll come with you promptly if it's that important. I was hoping we could continue our interview for the, very sorry, but whatever this problem with Pitts is, it seems I must intervene lest we all go hungry. Then perhaps I could come with you and we could talk on the way. That I want to be prepared for this celebration with you being recognized and all. Yes, you mentioned that. And of course I'm eager to get back to our chess game as well. You're already strategizing. Well, bringing up our game is wise, and I admit I am curious what your next move might be, if you are willing to preview. Tend to take out my castle. I haven't decided. I'm keeping that move to myself. What kind of clever strategy calls for a player to tell the opponent what they are planning? Everything one does in chess sends a message. Keeping one's playing close to the vest. Anxious will reprimand Crafty for not returning quickly with maneuver. Let's just go then. Meet you in Transfiguration. Okay, let's go. It looks like Penny's coming along as well. Okay. Hello, Doctors. I saw you talking to Professor. Helpful information for your presentation? She was too busy to talk to you right now. Sit down again. I'd hate to make a fool of myself at the celebration. We'll make more time for you, I'm sure of it. Why don't you tell me who you talked to so far? Okay. Let's start this up. I'll cut back to you when I finish. Sounds like interviewing Professor Quill and Madam Hooch was very informative and helpful. It's true, so far I've learned that McGonagall is considered to be wise, humane, and competitive. But I still need something more personal. I want to go deeper into what makes McGonagall, well, McGonagall. I got an idea who to interview next. I've talked to a former student who's now a peer, someone who knows McGonagall as an athlete. Well, if you want to get some real personal insight, you should talk to a friend who will know me best. You're right. Grew up with Professor Sprout, overlapped when they were students at Hogwarts. It's perfect. Time to go to interview her. Let's go interview. Let's go. Professor Sprout. Why is she over here though? I wonder if that will have butterbeer. Okay then. I should have my own appreciation day. Oh my god. She's full of herself. Professor Sprout. I thought I could catch up you on the way to herbology classroom. Then you are in luck because you did catch me and that's where I'm heading. How can I help you? I was hoping we could talk about your relationship with Professor McGonagall. I'm working on my presentation about her. You are very, very lucky to have such a wonderful subject. I agree. I have talked to her peers, but was especially interested in the fact that you have been friends for so long. As true as we met here at Hogwarts when we were just students many years ago, so I'm happy to talk to you. Though there's something I'd like in return. What's that? It's simple. Something I often ask my students here at Hogwarts, a curiosity as the resident herbologist. What is your favorite magical plant? Willow, mistletoe, I'd say gillyweed. Fascinating by gillyweed, the idea that a plant could help you breathe underwater is thrilling. Surely a fascinating magical plant, though some say it resembles a bunch of slimy rat tails, and they crave adventure. Oh, I do. And now that you have satisfied my curiosity, let's talk about my friend Professor McGonagall. Brilliant. Other as classmates and friends. Yes, that's true. I think the thing that I find most wonderful about her is her caring and devotion as a friend. She does seem quite devoted. I have noticed she's always helping others, rushing off to deal with teaching work or sudden problems at Hogwarts. You sound a bit disappointed. Are your interviews proving challenging? Maybe I was just excited about getting to spend time with one of the most popular teachers at the school. We are playing a wizard chess game, which is exciting, but I'm having trouble getting her to open up for the interview. I can see you appreciate Professor McGonagall, but that you have, but but that you feel tested by her too, and that's understandable. As a teacher, she's quite formidable. You have to earn her respect, but I can assure you that, like plants, all relationships simply need time and nurturing to blossom. So you think my relationship with the professor can blossom like a plant? Absolutely. Take what you have learned so far and tend to the relationship, and for you will see for yourself. Thank you, Professor. You may have even given me some ideas for my next chess move. And now I'm off to see Professor McGonagall. Sick, okay. Let's go play chess. Let's go play some chess. So, Professor, you wanted to play some more of our game before we did our interview, and now it's progressed. So, how am I doing? I must say, I'm surprised by your most recent move. Why? That was to be my question. You moved your rook, then clearly just sacrificed your pawn, did you not? Perhaps I did, but I've learnt sometimes it takes sacrifice to get what you want. And what exactly do you want in this moment? To nurture our relationship, to win with the chess, to get on. What I want is to nurture our relationship over this game of Wizard Chess, a kind goal, and a worthy one. I applaud you for coming right out and saying that. I'm so pleased, though I'm still perplexed. Is your strategy to lose to learn more about me? Because what would be quite disappointing, I thought it may help you share a bit more if you were winning. But should have remembered Madam Hooch saying you quite enjoy honest competition as well. I see you have been talking about me with my peers, and possibly even using information you have learned from them to guide you in our game. It's true, but I can explain. I think that would be best. Well, I'll come back to it when I finish. Finish this up. And boom, we are finished. Let's see what we do. I see you. I only talk to your peers and your friends as a way to get to know you, and I learned quite a bit. It's wise to get to know your opponent. I'm just trying so hard not to disappoint you, Professor. Then play honestly and wisely. I assure you, I want to see you do your best. But you spend a lot of time worrying about what's to come, Thinking about your brother chasing courses, making foolish mistakes in the game we are playing here and now because you are worried about our next interview. I suppose you are right about that. Seems silly. I'm glad you agree. The best way to learn is to focus on the present rather than getting caught up in the past or what's to come. By doing that today, you have put yourself in a corner in our game. Blimey, I hope I can get out of it. Fret not, there's always a path forward, and I'm quite enjoying our talks. But the way to earn my respect is to show me you respect the game. No more needless sacrifices. I understand. Thank you, Professor. Promise me you will do your best. Consider your next move wisely, and we will talk again soon. Part 2 complete. Professor Snape and Headmaster Dumbledore help with your presentation as your wizard chess game with Professor McGonagall takes an unexpected turn. Okay, let's start that. 4 hours? Come on now. Okay, well, I'll cut back to it when I finish. I'm telling you, Penny, it's like Professor McGonagall knows something about everything. Even we are playing chess, it's like she can read my every move. She's just so wise and magical. She's both those things, Darkos. You knew that before you even started the teacher interview, and I'm still not sure what I'll say in my presentation, but it has to be good as she's the special honoree. Well, you are definitely making progress by interviewing the teachers and playing wizard chess with her. Didn't she tell you that getting to know your opponent is a good strategy? Well, that's exactly what you are doing. You are right, Penny, but McGonagall also told me I have trouble staying present. Wise words indeed, Dan, so why don't you focus on the task at hand, which is reviewing your Wingenweld potion. Professor Snape, I feel like you always somehow sneak up on me. How could I sneak up on you in my own classroom? Unless, of course, you had it was somewhere else, like McGonagall suggested. Yes, Professor, the potion, Dan. Need I remind you the last time you made the concoction, it was merely passable. Professor Snape's got a good point, so let's focus on the present, like McGonagall suggested. Let's review this potion. Okay. Well, I'll cut back to you when I finish. Back, okay, the brew is done, now we just have to wait for it to cool and the potion is ready. Are you sure it's supposed to turn that turquoise color at the end? Absolutely. Are you questioning my potion making, Darkos? I'm just worried that much like I have almost botched every potion in the past, I could be botching the game of Wizard Chess I'm playing with McGonagall. I just don't want to disappoint her in the end, or the presentation. Respects more than anything is people who don't quit. She and I have that in common. See? I see that, Professor. She deserves to be properly honored at the Teacher Appreciation Feast unless you fail her by giving up. Is that what you are doing, Dan? A failure? No way, I'm a winner. Professor Snape, I'll do my best for Professor McGonagall at the presentation and in our chess game. That remains to be seen. But in the meantime, may I suggest you stop whining and wallowing and rise up to the occasion, else you disappoint us all at the teacher appreciation celebration. That sounds like a threat. Can just be a bit gruff. Maybe you can use his words to embolden you to do your best in your presentation, as well in the wizard chess game. Playing should be fun, not scary. You're right, it is fun, and I'm lucky to even get the chance. No other student has had the chance. Exactly, I bet believes in you, and so do I. Somehow I believe in who could have all the answers. The headmaster, I'm heading to see Professor Dumbledore next. Ho ho ho, going to see Professor Dumbledore, I see. Loan from Snape. Go talk to Professor Dumbledore. Let's go do that then. Ho ho ho, our first time in his office. Oh, look at this. All the previous headmasters, Fox, and then him with his purple robe. Thank you for agreeing to see me on the short notice, headmaster. Your note came in at an opportune time. I have been meaning to call you in myself. Oh, really? I've been hearing interesting rumors about you and your activities lately, and I have some opinions about them. Activities, so? Yes, you have been very busy, so I felt it was time we talked. Do you have any idea what about McGonagall's research? Indeed it is. Brilliant, because that's exactly why I asked to speak with you. I'm glad to hear it. Proceed. I've been thinking that to really honor, yep, that I needed to talk to the people who know her best, so I've been interviewing her friends and peers. I admit I've heard about your pursuit for information about our esteemed honoree, and I'm happy to hear you have been doing your homework. It's why I wanted to call you here as well to commend you. I'm glad because as headmaster you are top of the list of people I need to talk to. After all, you have known her the longest. It's true. I do have a unique insight into Professor McGonagall, and aside from having the privilege to work with her these many years, I also had the honor of teaching her in her own time as a student here. I've heard so many great and interesting things about the professor so far, but I really want to know what makes her special to you, headmaster. And let's begin. Helping you further appreciate Professor McGonagall would be my pleasure. Oh, okay, I'll cut back again. Dumbledore. So, as you can see, I am no shortest of qualities to extol about the subject of your presentation. And as we discussed, not only is she wiser than a massive wizard chess, but it's been most satisfying to see her grow into a master of magic as well. Did you always know she was going to join the staff at Hogwarts? Actually, we were her second job after she graduated, though I have to admit I was relieved she chose to call us when she decided to leave the Ministry of Magic. Professor McGonagall worked for the Ministry for a time after. Yes, she did. I bet a lot of people are glad she made the decision to teach here instead. Indeed, is dedicated, but possibly my favorite thing about her is how trustworthy she is. She would never let down her colleagues or anyone of the students at Hogwarts. In fact, McGonagall is the person I would entrust Hogwarts to in my absence. Would be brilliant, of course, but I hope that day never comes, so I assure you that it is, and it will, again. But Professor McGonagall has the strength to handle whatever comes her way. She has my complete trust and my faith. Definitely don't want to disappoint at the celebration. You won't if you have faith and trust in your teacher as well. As I said, she won't let you down, as I expect you won't either. Thank you, Headmaster. Good luck in your presentation and your wizard chess game. You'd have to be quite the player to best the professor. You are right, I'm sure. But for now, I need to decide on my next move and moving it back to Professor McGonagall. It's time for our next interview. Woohoo hoo hoo. Play chess with McGonagall.
Uh, Play chess with McGonagall. So how many is left? We got. This is the last task of part 3, and then we're in part 4. Okay. This game has gotten quite exciting, Professor. You are definitely offering me a challenge. This is the attention. Nothing life worth owning comes easily. It only sounds that way, and you clearly work hard throughout your career. In fact, the headmaster thinks of you as a master of magic. From Dumbledore, that's quite a compliment, as he is one of the most skilled wizards our time. Sometimes I wonder if I will ever be that skilled too, or if I have what it takes. To wonder is no, to waste time. The answer is within you, so let's have it. What do you think is required to become a master of magic? Talent, luck, or hard work? It's hard work. I expect it takes hard work, but I'm confident I can become a master of magic if I work as hard as you have. Partly because I take my studies seriously, Professor, just as you did. Your teachers will appreciate that as I do. I'll take that to heart, Professor. Anything's possible, but no one does not become versed in the magical arts overnight. You still have a long road ahead and much to learn. I know, and I have to say it's been fascinating learning more about you, Professor. For instance, I didn't know you had a muggle parent. Does that qualify as fascinating? It's simply a fact. Well then, let's talk about your student achievements. I was so impressed to hear you were a prefect, a head girl, and aced all your exams, and also that you played Quidditch in a famous match between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Is there a question in the midst of all this rambling? I guess I'm just curious to hear more about them, right? From the hippogriff's mouth. If you think it will be helpful for your presentation, we can discuss this all in greater depth as we play. I'd love to hear anything more you have to add. Okay, thanks, Professor. Hearing your thoughts on what I have learned so far is very helpful, and yet you still have more questions, I assume. Actually, there was one fact I learned while talking to Professor Dumbledore that surprised me. Well, are you going to ask about it promptly or leave it hanging there for me to wonder about? I guess I was surprised to hear you came to Hogwarts after working in the Ministry of Magic. And I'm wondering, was working there part of your long-term plan? Is that what you think that my life has always gone according to plan? Well, it's just that you seem to be successful at everything you set your mind to. Even your chess moves shown this game has been so methodical and strategic, or you do still have much to learn about the journey of life. So leaving the ministry isn't something you anticipated. It's hardly a sordid story. I worked there for a year, then made a choice to be an educator. I guess I wondered if there was something more to it. Perhaps our choices can affect who we are. Every move you make during our chase game has ramifications, and the choices you make very soon will determine what you will say at your presentation and how I'll be represented. Until then, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that you are now in check. Oh no, don't fret, the game isn't over yet. Though you will have to wait until our final chess session to see if you will be the victor in the game. Do you do well in your teacher appreciation presentation, and then we will return to finish our match. Whew. Chapter 3 complete. Chapter Part 4. You finally celebrate Professor McGonagall at the teacher appreciation celebration. Ho ho ho. We're gonna finalize our presentation, it seems. I believe I will have an even deeper appreciation of our students after the presentations. Teacher appreciation is almost over. That's when I'll celebrate. Same. Uh, I'm nervous about my presentation at the teacher appreciation celebration. Thanks for meeting me, Hagrid. I'm quite happy to be here, though I'm not sure why. What for? Yeah, why did you want to see us stay in? I have places to be and spells to learn. I have a feeling this has something to do with the teacher appreciation celebration. Our presentations are coming up quickly. You are right, Penny. I'm trying to figure out what's most important to say about Professor McGonagall and wanted to go over what I have learned so far and get your opinions on what to feature as well. Sounds brilliant. I love to help. I'm not sure you'd agree with my opinion, Dan. I want to hear from people who will approach the presentation differently. Then I guess it makes perfect sense why I'm here. But what do you need me for? You are actually part of the faculty, Hagrid, so of course your opinion matters maybe the most. Sound reasonable? I'd be happy to give you me opinion as well. Perfect, let's discuss. Uh, you certainly learnt a lot about the guest of honor for the teacher appreciation celebration, Darkos. I agree, Hagrid, but I'm curious what you each think is the most important of the qualities to highlight. Surely is wise and trustworthy, both important qualities in a teacher. She's competitive and tenacious, because I am too. Maya is both humane and devoted in all things. That bit covers it, and she's all of those. What do you think, Doctors? Which of the qualities is most important to you to showcase? Ha 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 ha. Humane and devoted, competitive and tendencies, wise and trustworthy. Uh, I got no clue, fam. I got no clue. I'm gonna pick humane and devoted. Sent as humane and devoted to her students, to her fellow professors and her friends. She may come across as stern, but she's also compassionate and caring. Professor Sprout and Professor Cool made that quite clear. More important when it comes to teaching. There you have it, Darko, so you know exactly what you want to say. Can I go back to not caring now? And thanks all. I think I have everything I need to do Professor McGonagall's justice with my presentation. I'm sure you do, but the truth is, if you speak from the heart, you can't go on. I hope so, because the next time we are all together, we'll be at the celebration, which means it's almost time for a right proper Hogwarts feast. Huh, that's all Hagrid cares about. Okay, part, the second last part of this event. Warren, so far the presentations have been quite good, though Miula's was so fast it might not count. I worry about being away from the library. If I'm gone, who will preserve its quiet sanctity? Sanctity. Who's this? At a Muggle feast, it's typical to drink something they call champagne, but I find it gives me a headache. And that's why I appreciate Professor Snape, because not only is he a brilliant potion master, but he also always finds a way to make me smile. So thank you, Professor Snape, for cheering me up always. Yes, well. I'll leave it to Penny to pull sunshine and rainbows over even Snape, the darkest teacher in the lot. Well, I feel quite pleased with how that went. Yeah, old Snape looked real happy. This means my presentation must be coming up. You are right, it's almost time, Doctors. Are you nervous? Definitely nervous. It's a big responsibility to present on the guest of honor. That's true, but don't be nervous. You're eminently prepared. Eminently prepared. You have interviewed several professors. You have talked out what you are going to say with your friends, and you have spent quality time with Professor McGonagall too. Thanks, Benny. You already decided what you are going to highlight. Just remember what Hagrid said and speak from the heart. And now it's time for our final presentation on the guest of honor, Professor Minerva McGonagall. Mr. Dane, if you could please join us. Oh. We need a box. Thank you, Professor Dumbledore. I'm excited to be doing my presentation on Professor McGonagall. Okay. Well, I'll cut back to when I finish. Okay, so we have finished the celebration of my teacher. So as you can see, Professor McGonagall had a long list of accomplishments before she even began teaching. And after decades of teaching young wizards and witches at Hogwarts, Professor McGonagall made many friends and also fans in both her colleagues and students. But what I found most compelling about the professor is how humane and devoted she is, not only to her friends, but to her students and colleagues. Whether she's helping students see the strength of knowledge and how it can free you from a bully, or helping a friend study for the hours when she was just a student herself, or even making sure I had fun in my interview by engaging me in a spirited game of chess. She is compassionate. Knowledge is power, and Professor McGonagall knows that. Well said. I've never known a truer friend. We are lucky to know you. Minerva is doing brilliant. Was there something else you'd like to add, Mr. Lin? Just that teachers like Professor McGonagall matter, and not just for the subjects they teach, but because they choose to educate and prepare us for a challenging and ever-changing world. At Hogwarts, our home away from home, our teachers are more than just educators, they are also family. Look at them. Oof. So thanks to all our teachers and especially to Professor McGonagall on this anniversary. Hear, hear. Gee, that's a huge crowd. I could definitely not have done that. Well done, Mr. Dane. Yes, that was great, the celebration of our friend. You clearly got to know our esteemed colleague well. You do research so well, perhaps someday you should go on a quest for knowledge. Our thanks, I really appreciate all the encouragement and compliments. Now let's join the feast. Miss Dane, I must second my colleague's sentiment and thank you for your lovely presentation on me and for what you said about all your teachers. Of course, Professor, I hoped you'd feel it did you justice. It most certainly did, but let's not fish for more compliments. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it if I didn't. I'd simply be polite and then help myself to some butterbeer. I'm relieved to be done with it all. You're not done yet. We still have our wizard chess game. I'll see you soon to finish it. Okay, so now we just gotta do our wizard's chess game, so let's go do that. Let's go do our wizard's chess game. The last task of this event. Let's go do it. I can hardly believe this is our last wizard's chess session, Professor McGonagall. Indeed it is, and I was happy to see you get out of the check you were in when last we met. I have to thank you for giving me such a unique experience while preparing for my presentation. I got to play chess with the teacher they were interviewing. Glad you have enjoyed our game. You have conducted yourself in a manner I appreciate in our time together. I especially like that you focused on your presentation on values I truly respect, such as humanity and devotion. I was also I was only saying that what I heard from others and saw myself, Professor. You're all that and more. Still, you exhibit a deep appreciation and respect for all teachers as well, which may have been my favorite part of the presentation. But I'm curious what your favorite part of this experience been. Talking to all the professors to visit our talk. That's easy, our talks. We don't often get this much one-on-one time with our professors, and especially not with you. It was a real pleasure. That was very kind of you to say. Though I have to admit, I'd like to hear about your interactions with your other teachers as well. I'd be happy to tell you all about them. Woohoo, okay. Seems your friends and fellow teachers appreciate you as much as you appreciate them. Yes, that's true, and I'm very grateful for that. And for this celebration Professor Dumbledore organized, though I realize I didn't make the interview process entirely easy on you. Process. Like you said once, nothing in life worth owning comes easily. Still, I have been thinking about it, and perhaps there's a reason. What is it, Professor? I lost someone very dear to me not long ago, and so talking about my past felt especially difficult. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you. And although I wouldn't normally share information of a personal nature with a student, I know you too have suffered loss in your life, and yet you keep on going. That's why I wanted you to understand. There is no perfect plan for your journeys. In life, as in chess, you must be ready to change and adapt. How do you mean? Well, when your brother first disappeared, you changed. When you came to Hogwarts, you had to grow. Even in our interviews, you've had to find new ways to learn because of obstacles you didn't expect. That's true. So you see, it's not the plans you make in chess or in life, or even whether you win or lose. It's how you move forward from the game and take those lessons to the next one that matters. Thank you, Professor. I will remember that. Good, because it's time for your next room in chess, Elise. What will it be? Knight to h3. Oh, I'm dead. That was a checkmate. You won, Professor. This time you will have many others. And to that end, I'd like to give you something. One of my very own Wizard's chessboards. Consider it a memento of our time together. I don't know what to say. Say nothing. You were a worthy opponent. You have won it. Thank you, Professor, but don't you need your chessboard? Don't worry about me. I have another, and I expect we will both find clever ways to use our chessboards to benefit of ourselves and perhaps to even to the benefit of Hogwarts in the future. Oh, well, I just got a chessboard. Holy. Now is that over? That's over then. Oh. Let's go see the achievement. Oh, here's the fast laps proof. Oh, our first ever achievement. Special celebration of Hogwarts teachers. Oh, so what's new in the store then? What's new in the store? Some just okay looking clothes, I guess. Some okay looking things, and then what's here? A necklace. What's in this one? Oh, Ace. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment down below if you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more, and peace.